are Bloodwrack Medusas, and again in patch 6.0.5. Speaking of units that went through a lot of changes, but not lately, the Medusa definitely had a lot of tinkering, but has been considered to be in a pretty good spot for a while. So I want to take a good look at this unit, which is behind me as I gaze at a shield polished to a mirror-like gloss. Because, you know. Recruited for 1300 gold and 325 upkeep, which is elite cost level. This single entity arrives in Ultra at 6,420 health. Armor is 30, which is shockingly low, with no resistances innately. Leadership of 65 is okay. Speed 58 and charge speed 90 are pretty up there, so this is a speedy flanking missile monster, assuming you can keep it alive and motivated to fight. Melee attack begins at 45 with an attack interval of 4.6, and I don't want you to feel like these are bad figures. They're not. Splash target size is large, so trolls on down, and max target splashed is 4 under the current system, which sounds about right. Melee defense of 40 is far from atrocious. Weapon strength of 390 is split between base 130 and armor piercing 260, which is actually a pretty good ratio. There is a bonus versus large of a shockingly high 30. I knew the splash target suggested this, but seriously, 30 is one of the best bonuses in the game for a monster as opposed to a specialized hero or lord with a legendary weapon. Charge bonus of 52 is refreshingly vicious, and mass is 2000, not bad. So how about that almighty spit? Ammunition begins at 30, which is a very decent number. Range of 125 is perfectly key to Dark Shard's starting range. Missile damage is officially 450, but what we see immediately is that the ranged attack is magical attack in nature, ripping through physical resistance like it isn't even there. And no, its melee attack doesn't have that. So for each impact, base damage is 15 and armor piercing is 30. So something's going on here. Explosion, whenever the missile hits, is 15 base damage and 30 armor piercing in a 3-meter detonation radius. Turns out that there's 5 shots in a single volley, 1 projectile per ipso facto shot, and since this is considered artillery, shields do nothing to stop it. Reload time is 10, which isn't even that bad. Total accuracy is an absolutely ridiculous 110, calibration distance of 65 meters means that there's extra spread past that, which might be a good thing if fighting units. Calibration area of 0.5 establishes this as a top-tier sniper unit. Now, interestingly, penetration size cap is medium, so Empire Knights on down, and max targets penetrated by each shot before an explosion is 3 at the absolute most. What's not in the stats is that the Medusa fires these shots like a machine gun, and what I saw targeting a rectangular unit at a flat angle was a lot better than the old version that overloaded a single corner with damage. Also, the Medusa comfortably fires above the heads of friendly troops, at least if the enemy is a half-decent distance away. This enormously helps you get the most out of these girls. This unit is considered a siege attacker, causes fear and terror, and actually benefits from murderous prowess in stock form. That's a lore thing. In the redline skills, Lash Master at 3 pips grants Medusae plus 12% weapon strength, plus 12 flat charge bonus, and 12% reload time reduction, all of which is excellent for a Medusa unit. At rank 7, Confer Bloodlust would add plus 10% speed, plus 12% more weapon strength, and 10% physical resistance for good measure, which might really help with longevity. In the tech tree, Spoils of War, spelled with an S unlike the Greenskins version, reduces recruitment cost and upkeep by 5% respectively. Under the Yoke offers leadership plus 5, and Study the Chaos Wastes, an endgame tech, offers recruit rank plus 2 and ward save plus 10%, just like Doomfire Warlocks. So how do we use the Bloodwrack Medusa? The melee benefits exist, and the anti-large, aside from the Master Hero, who has no ranged, is potentially very useful, but the Medusa is squishy. The real use is to get it any kind of open terrain, if possible, and have it take lots and lots of pot shots to devastate enemy infantry, knowing that can be your infantry very easily if you are lazy or sloppy. Although the accuracy does help with that. Since everything she fires is 2-to-1 ratio armor piercing, you want the Medusa firing at anything armored, even if it's cavalry, but especially if it's infantry and shielded, and if you can get 30 volleys off in battle, and actually make them land and get value for them. The Medusa has already done tremendous damage to the foe. This is the ideal. In reality, you're likely to fling a Medusa at an enemy monster barreling through your lines to damage it, and pin it just long enough for Dark Shards to wipe it out. That's the risk and reward element at play, but she's a dangerous girl. She's going to try and take a lot down with her. Emphasis on try. If you've been paying attention, her only defense against large amounts of archers is to flee and or hide astride or behind Dreadspears and bleak swords. Positioning and moving her wisely is most of the trouble. Remember these weaknesses, know the enemy will try to take advantage, and fight hard. That's all you can do. And with a Medusa, your results are probably going to be worth the price, but you have to be smart about it. Take care and have fun turning your enemies to inert bits. They definitely aren't moving once she's done with them.